Hi, my name is Keegan Wallace, and it's an honour to be MC for this year's 2020 Volunteers Day Thank You event and awards presentation. Let me extend a warm welcome to you all and say, wow, volunteers really do have superpowers. This year, volunteers have tirelessly given so much energy and life to our community, organisations and charities to help make our state a better place. Today we honour just some of South Australia's volunteering heroes with the presentation of the South Australian Volunteer Awards. I myself am an active volunteer, along with nearly 500,000 young South Australians. I'm a student volunteer at my school and I volunteer through several charities like Australian Red Cross and Rotary. Volunteering is a two-way concept. In the process of giving something to the community as a volunteer, we also receive an enormous amount of happiness and gratitude. And it's an awesome way to meet interesting people. It is also very important to find ways to welcome newcomers to volunteering, especially people who are new to the community or may be considered to need extra support. Volunteering provides opportunities for people who might feel like they don't belong to find ways to connect with their communities in a meaningful way. So I encourage all the exceptional volunteers in South Australia, especially those tuning in today, to become ambassadors for volunteering, spreading the good news of the benefits of volunteering to others, finding ways to welcome newcomers, and keeping South Australia's volunteering spirit burning bright. Now let's get this show on the road. I'm honoured to introduce Jack Buckskin, the young Ghana and Narunga man, to perform a Welcome to Country.
Na Marnie, nga naribindi sa ganyo pundo at pinakuno sa bakarning nga tangi walda Ghana Naranga Werango Mill. Firstly, just introducing myself, my name is Jack. I'm a representative of the Ghana people of the Adelaide Plains, the Naranga people from the York Peninsula and Werango from Streaky Base Junior area. Maroja ngadul ko bukya na board ka na gumagana mini yalara ngadluwangan day mani ni board na ngadul ko yata na. So on behalf of Ghana people, I welcome you to the country. Kumula yaiti mina, kumula pindi mina, yati yata ngatikandi mani ni board na ngadul ko yata na. A very special welcome to non-Aboriginal people and other Aboriginal people that live and breathe in our country, and a very special welcome to you all. Unfortunately, we don't get the opportunity to have a welcome to country in a physical place, but it fits into a lot of what our, I guess, welcome to country process is about. It's about acknowledging the spiritual world. The spiritual world help affect us in our physical world. Today, we're obviously gathering in a different place. So I guess it's like this message is still getting portrayed, like the spiritual world portray their information to us. So on behalf of our people, acknowledging the place that we stand on, acknowledging our ancestors that have gone before us, for us to be able to stand and speak our mother tongue language today, but also pay respects to all the other volunteers, whatever area you might be. We've done a lot of work in revitalisation of our language, which has been on a volunteer basis for something that we're passionate about. And we understand that volunteers do things for the sake of passion and not for the sake of the dollar. So we actually acknowledge the work that people do, and congratulate everybody at the same time. My brothers and sisters, thank you.
Thank you, Jack, for sharing with us your very personal relationship to this land and reflecting the cultural heritage and history of the oldest living surviving culture in the world. I'd now like to introduce you to our next speaker. In March 2018, he was elected as the 46th Premier of South Australia and has been involved in public service and community initiatives his whole life. Board member for Reconciliation SA, Ambassador for SCOSA and White Ribbon, our Premier, the Honourable Stephen Marshall, MP.
Thank you, Keegan, for that wonderful introduction. Something you said earlier really resonated with me. Volunteers are superheroes. They may not have super strength, but they do carry a heavy responsibility on their shoulders. They may not be able to move things with the power of their minds, but they get huge jobs done with their collective willpower. It's so important we let them know how much we appreciate their valuable work. Communities and organisations rely heavily on volunteers, not only in terms and times of crisis and hardship, but to assist with their day-to-day operations. We've endured a difficult period in South Australia recently with the bushfires in the Adelaide Hills on Kangaroo Island and now the COVID-19 health crisis. During these times, it has never been more important to appreciate the value of the people around us. Our volunteers have truly been the heart and soul on the home front. While some organisations were worried about losing volunteers due to self-isolation, very few actually struggled because so many South Australians were willing to step in. Almost 2,500 South Australians registered to volunteer and help those in need. That's a magnificent effort worthy of our praise. This highlights to me that when it matters most, South Australians are willing to roll up their sleeves to help out. I'm always amazed by the modesty of the volunteers I meet. They consider themselves everyday people. It's their overwhelming dedication, generosity and commitment to helping others that makes them heroes. Let's not forget that they freely give their own time to lend a hand, sometimes more than once or twice a week. And many of the superheroes are young people too. Did you know that close to 1 million people aged 15 and over volunteer in South Australia, and that they contribute around $5 billion to the state's economy every year? This is very impressive. But of course, the social benefits far outweigh the financial contributions. Although the COVID-19 restrictions on gatherings prevent us from coming together to share this occasion as we normally would on Volunteers Day, we can still celebrate and thank our volunteers by presenting the annual South Australian Volunteer Awards. These awards recognise outstanding contributions in South Australian volunteering. Today, we'll be presenting them virtually instead of in person. I would like to acknowledge and congratulate all the nominees for the awards, and I also thank those of you who have taken the time to nominate these worthy candidates. In closing, I'd like to acknowledge the tremendous commitment and generosity of all of our volunteers, the invaluable difference that your time, effort and passion make to the lives of South Australians and our state. So on that note, I say thank you on behalf of the state government and on behalf of all South Australians.
Thank you, Premier. South Australian volunteers come from many walks of life. You will find other volunteers who have similar personal values to yourself. They are business people, community leaders, students, parents and retirees. Sometimes they are even members of Parliament. On that note, I would like to introduce you to our next speaker, a volunteer at our local toy library, the Honourable Michelle Lensick, MLC, Minister for Human Services.
Thank you, Keegan. It gives me so much pleasure to be able to thank and recognise our volunteering sector through these prestigious awards, which we're about to announce. As the Premier said, volunteers contribute to the social fabric of our society in so many ways, doing amazing things in such a diverse way. So let's meet our award winners. The first award is the Premier's Award for Corporate Social Responsibility, and for 2020, I'm pleased to announce the winning entry is from the Ghan Kebab House, which started off as a service which was helping young Afghani people to play soccer. A number of the people who work in the restaurant are themselves members of the soccer club, and so this year it's received the award for the amazing work that it's doing in giving back to that community.
What happens, lots of people come New Year like me. When I come to with my children 2008, I just small things because we don't get support. So very hard for us. Very hard, sorority, got it to community and the community joined and people know each. So then we start, and I feel from this time for 2008 when I come and so I think so. We are now 4 years, 5 years now, it's a little bit settled. So we need, like, us people come, you don't know about school, you don't know about sports, don't know about it. And we, sorority, me and my some friend and some community people, so we start these things. We start these things, people's help people's help family. So this, I'm proud about these things. Now we are very popular. We start, we got it members from 6 people, so we start this community things. Now we got it under 30, under 40 members to community. I'm very proud. I'm very proud to myself and to my staff, to my business. So I'm very proud.
Our next award is the highest award for an individual volunteer, the Joy Noble Award. And for 2020, this goes to Jennifer Howard from Safe Pets, Safe Families. Jennifer and her volunteers are involved in assisting people to rehome or foster out pets, particularly for people who may be experiencing domestic and family violence. And we know that's a particular barrier for some people in terms of leaving a relationship. So congratulations to Jennifer and Safe Pets, Safe Families.
Yeah, so winning this award means so much to me. It means that the impact that we're having is acknowledged, and I suppose it gives me even more motivation to push me to keep going, and knowing that we're having a really great impact on the community. I volunteer because I experienced something, and it sort of still haunts me to this day. So because of a crisis, when I experienced domestic violence, I couldn't take my pets with me, and that sort of broke my heart. And I didn't want anyone else to sort of experience that. So that's sort of what started my journey. But the charity has expanded into so much more than what it was originally. And yeah, I suppose just seeing the impact that we're having is what sort of keeps us motivated. I think volunteering's been great. I think I've learned a lot from different people, and especially within our charity, it's been so rewarding on this journey, and just to know the impact that we are having, and it just warms your heart, and yeah, I think it keeps you alive.
Our next award is the Andamuka Community Project Award, which for 2020 goes to the Archie Badenoch project, which is a 40-foot working vessel which is skippered, maintained and managed by a tight team of 15 volunteers who ply the vessel in Port Adelaide and assist people to understand the working history of Port Adelaide, as well as the local environmental benefits.
Archie Badenoch takes out students, our school groups, on cruises of the Port River. We have about 210 schools a year, so the vessel will go out 4 days a week, several times a day. These kids have that wonderful experience of being on the water, often seeing bottlenose dolphins. For many kids from remote communities, it's their first time on a boat. So really special. The fact that we've got volunteers running that program means that we can keep prices low, that it's accessible to everyone. And also they have special skills. So they have to have a coxswain's certificate if they're skippering the vessel, and without their skills we couldn't do it. The last year's been really tough. We had our vessel manager die unexpectedly in October last year. We had a big public program planned. We had a major refurbishment of the vessel on the slip. And these guys just stepped up to the plate, essentially. So they made sure that public program happened with vital statistics. They made sure that the refurbishment was completed, and things ticked along really beautifully. So it's a real validation of their dedication to Archie Badenoch, to the museum, and it couldn't go to a better group of blokes, and they are all blokes here today. So we do have some female skippers as well.
Our final award is the Excellence in Volunteer Management Award, and this goes to Mr. Michael Feszczak of the Onkaparinga Council. The City of Onkaparinga has some 600 volunteers at 33 different programs, and so Michael is the HR manager there, and he receives this award, which is the first time this award is being presented in 2020. We'd like to congratulate Michael Feszczak.
Oh, look, this is great. Not just me, but the fact that there is an award for volunteer managers, and that actually does something towards driving the importance of volunteer managers. I don't think anybody wakes up and says, I want to be a volunteer manager. I think most people fall into it, or there's an opportunity. That's what happened to me. I was involved in sports events. I've been involved in managing volunteers, and my local council at that time had a vacancy, and I thought I can do that, and I went and did it. And it's one of those jobs that requires so many different skills. We're HR managers, we're communication officers, we're welfare officers, we're trainers, we're administrators. We've got so many different hats, and it's a great job from that perspective, because there's variety and there's a challenge as well. So one of the things that I am keen about also is that as volunteer managers we can help the community, because I'm a big advocate for volunteering as a stepping stone into employment. that's where I started. My first role in Australia was as a volunteer, and through that I got employment, and that can impact on lots of different people, and that's something that I strongly advocate for, and that's something that volunteer managers can support.
So congratulations to all of our award recipients, and we'd also in so doing like to acknowledge all of the nominees who are all involved in outstanding work for South Australians. We are so grateful to you, we pay tribute to you, and we say thank you.
Thank you, Minister Lansing, and congratulations to not only the winners and award nominees, but to each and every volunteer in our state. Whether you're a volunteer behind the scenes or on the front line, you are committed to putting others first with little or no reward other than the satisfaction of knowing that you are really making a difference to the lives of others. It is nearly time to say goodbye, but before we do, I would like to say a massive thank you to every single individual who has been part of the 2020 Volunteers Day thank you event and awards presentation. We wish you a wonderful Volunteers Day and can't wait to see you, hopefully in person in 2021. I'll leave you with a wonderful song written and performed by 2 Year 9 students of Brighton Secondary School, Cooper and Jet. This is called Frontline. Enjoy.
They gave us help when we were helpless, pride when we had none. They gave us hope when we were hopeless, always there when bad times come. You were there to listen when there was no one on the line. The spirit of our nation, that's what you define. Define, define, define. Helping your brothers in times of strife, helping your sisters get through life. You will make the world go round. Sparing a thought for those in need, taking the time to do your deed. The world doesn't go round without